Flight Pod. Today's topic is the wake up call, where we get real about life, purpose, and pushing forward, no matter where you are, no matter where you're starting from. I'm Mr. Peregrine, and for the next 20 minutes, I want to talk to you, just you and me, no fluff, you know. This is your reminder that you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. And also, this is a reminder to myself that it doesn't matter where you really are, you just need to start. So, let's talk about something that's so real that sometimes it hurts. The feeling stuck. Ever been there? When you wake up and you think, man, what am I even doing with my life? Yeah, me too. And guess what? That feeling doesn't really mean that you're broken. It just means that you're alive, man. Now here's the truth. You don't need to have a 5-year plan like how many people think. You don't need to have a perfect condition. You don't really need permission from anybody, All you need is just a little courage. Just a little. Just enough for you to take the next step. The unseen start. Now, let me tell you a quick story now. There was a guy, this guy, quiet, average, nothing fancy, failed at a lot of budget things, struggled with money most of the time. He had a mountain of self-doubt, but every day, guess what he did? He showed up. Not to impress anyone, not to chase perfection, but to keep a promise that he had made to himself that, I won't quit. So fast forward, this man has built something powerful, not because he was the smartest man, but because he refused to give up on his growth. I think that's when most of us fall, we forget about our own growth. So that guy could be you and I, myself included, Our stories are not over, heck, they haven't even started. Now, I want to talk about the mindset shift. Failure is not the end. Failure, it's not the enemy. It's just the price of admission to success. Every great person that you and I admire have failed. They had doubts, they fell hard, but they didn't unpack and just live there, They got up even when things were messy. Now, here's what matters. When life knocks you down, just get up, man. It's slow, do it slow, do it limping, crawl, cry if you have to. I know we men, we're told not to cry, but just get up, because that's the strength actually. It's not the fall, it's you getting up. That is the strength, it's the resilience that you have. And I think that's how most people win. What if it does not work out? We spend a lot of time just worrying about things. What if I fail? What if I look stupid? Oh, what if they judge me? How that feeling you have when you go into an interview, But ever think about what if it actually works? What if that leap of faith that you have changes everything? What if you meet the version of yourself that you were meant to be? You owe it to yourself just as much as I owe my own to myself, We sometimes let fear rob us, They rob us of our future just because we fear certain things that we don't even know. Real talk. Stop waiting. Here's the hard truth. Like, nobody's coming to save us, right? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to rescue me. No one is going to wake you up one day and say, hey, hey man, There, you can start your life now, you know? You have to do that. You have to be the one who decides, nah, man, enough waiting. Yeah, you don't need the perfect job, the right relationships, relationships, or a lot of followers to start living with purpose, you know? Just like start where you are with what you have right now. Think about the things that you have. You may not have a lot of things, but just think about the things that you have, and that little gratitude and appreciation of what you have might be, a way to view things from now on. Just see it, feel it, and become it. I think visualization is a powerful thing that most people don't even realize, myself included. You know, just close your eyes if you can. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. Picture the strongest, boldest, and kindest version of you. What does that person do every day? What choices do they make? How do they speak to themselves? Now, ask yourself this: what's that one step that I can take today to move forward towards that version of me? Because if you can actually see it, you can actually build it. Just one step at a time. The final push. You've got this. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not late. You're not too old for the guys that are older. You're not young either. And also, you're not too far gone. You're exactly where you need to be to take the next step. There's something I want us to stop doing, or to try and practice. Stop comparing yourself with other people. Stop waiting. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. This is something that I also do as well. You're made for more. So go get it. To wrap this up, if today hit something in you, good. That's your heart waking up. Now, take that energy and do something with it. Right. Call somebody. Start. Begin again. Whatever it is that you want to do, just move. Thanks for spending this time with me on the wake up call. If you find this very helpful, share it with somebody who needs it, or somebody who needs to hear it. And just always remember that life changes. But life doesn't change when it gets easier. It changes when you get stronger. Until next time, just keep showing up. You're worth it. I'm out.